This is John and April's Kitchen Table, and tonight's subject is...
Fantasia's comments about submission on The Breakfast Club.
So maybe you should subscribe and click that bell.
Here we go.
So tonight we watched a clip from The Breakfast Club, and it was Fantasia. She was on there, and they were talking to her about many different things. I guess she's coming out with an album or something like that. And somehow at some point they got on the subject of she and her husband.
She was talking about how she feels like men should be the head of the home, women should allow their man to lead,
right? And
we should be able to submit. And a lot of people didn't take that well,
right? She used that dirty word, submit, which has a negative connotation for many women, especially those who think that we live in a male-dominated society. They kind of took issue with that, and so later on, she and her husband got on IG, and they actually explained even more, and it was pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, I totally agree with what she said, like 100%.
Right.
I believe that the husband should be the head of the home. I believe that it should be mutual submission. Mm-hmm. I believe both should be submitting.
Right.
But I think the problem with, and she said it was society,
right.
The reason why, people feel the way they do. But I think that people don't know what it means to submit.
Right.
Because we only think of it as, somebody taking over,
right.
You are lording over me,
mm-hmm.
or you have more power than I do. And so when we see it like that, we fight against it.
That's what I loved about what her husband was saying, because he made it very clear that this is not about him dominating his wife or in any way controlling her or anything like that. What he described is very much what we teach, which is mutual submission. He never used those words, but he talked about how he loves his wife and how he submits first to God, and then after that he tries to love his wife, and when he makes decisions, it's not about controlling her or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And what I heard in that was mutual submission. The reason I say that is because when you really think about it, if you're loving your wife the way you're supposed to, you're really going to be putting her first. You're going to be thinking about her above yourself. I can't think of a bigger form of submission than that. Right. So that's really a husband submitting even as he leads.
Right. So I'm going to be honest with you. I really think that the reason why so many women are, bashing her for this is because they have not experienced a man that they trust enough to lead their home or to submit to. Because it's like, why are you knocking her down when she obviously has a husband who she feels like is leading her home in the right direction.
Right.
He puts God first.
Right.
He obviously, the way he was talking, he tries to take care of the family.
And include her.
First of all, I love the whole thing of, she's the neck, he's the head. Without the neck, you can't turn.
That's right.
So it's them working together. Basically,
he said he wants her to be able to know everything he knows. He said, if something happens to me, I need my wife to know about paying bills. I need to know about all these things that I end up handling. The way he described it was like he wants it to be a thing where they're doing this kind of together. Even though he's leading, it's still the two of them together.
Right, and it's not like she can't do it, because like she said, she's been doing it herself for years.
Right.
So it's not like she's clueless and here he comes as the rescuer.
Right.
But it is that he is loving her enough to say, I want to take care of you.
Right.
And she's like, I see that love, I see it's true, I see it's real, so I want to follow.
Yes.
So I think that so many women do not have that type of man in their life.
Right.
Never had it. And so then when they look at it, all they see is their situation and knock her down because she's saying, hey, I want my man to lead because I trust him. He puts God first.
Right.
I want to put God first. I put God first. This is what we want for our family.
Right.
So it's like, because you don't have it and you've never seen it, maybe not even in your upbringing, you're gonna, talk negative.
Automatically knock it down and say, that's not the right way to do it.
Right, and like she said, society, the world we live in today, that is not something that is,
it's not something that's valued.
It's not valued.
What I love about what he said, though, babe, I love the fact that he calls submission a gift, and that's exactly what it is. See, you don't submit out of obligation. You don't submit because you have to. You give it as a gift to your spouse.
Right.
You say, you know what? I have the power to do this myself, but instead, I'm going to allow you to lead in this situation.
Right.
And then the husband really is doing the same thing. He's saying, when you give me that power, I'm not going to use it to break you. Instead, I'm going to use it to love you.
Exactly.
It's a way of mutually just edifying each other in a relationship It's a beautiful thing, and most people don't understand
Right.
it. This is why I think a lot of marriages don't do that well. It's because we're fighting for control instead of yielding to each other.
Who's gonna be right and who's gonna get
And who's gonna be the one to make the decision? Who's
right?
who's
gonna be the boss?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I loved about what they had to say was you didn't hear any of that in their language.
No.
You never once said anything about being in control or being the buck stops of me or the
opposite of
last
that.
word.
It's opposite
It
of
was
that.
completely opposite of that. Then you know what else I love? I love the fact that also at the end he said, "Listen, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Y'all can do what you do."
wanna do.
And then they challenged him and said, basically, you know, if you try it, you may like it. You may realize there's a blessing you're missing out on by not doing this.
Right.
So I think it's a beautiful thing. I love that. By the way, I'd never seen a husband before. I'd never said anything about their relationship. There's something about them with the way that they were on Instagram that it's just beautiful, man. It was
is.
beautiful black love.
It was,
It
man.
was beautiful,
and I've
man.
seen them before, and I've liked them
I never
from
seen
the
it.
beginning together.
But they were completely
But-
secure. She
Yes.
wasn't trying to prove nothing to nobody,
No.
and he wasn't trying to talk his way out of anything. The two of them seemed completely secure in what they do, and I thought it was beautiful. They know what they want. They know what works for them,
and they
they're
don't
working at
care
it.
what anybody else is
They're
saying.
not worried about what people are saying.
Yeah,
That's
and
beautiful.
that's the thing. We live in a society where people say that is not, that's not strong.
Right.
You know, you're not strong. You're not a strong woman if you let
Right.
a man come in and tell you what you have to do. But it's not about that. It's not about telling you
I
what to
actually
do.
think you're stronger in a situation like that.
Yes.
I think it takes more strength to know that you can do this yourself, and yet you say, I'm going to yield and allow him to lead. And I think it's
Huge.
actually strong for a man to say, I'm not going to take that power that she just gave me and basically bend her to my will.
Right.
Instead, I'm going to use that to love her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think that's true love. It's
I do
true
too.
love. And that's hard to come by.
It is.
It really is.
It
And we
is.
see that all the time.
Yeah.
Where, you know, women are having a hard time finding that kind of man.
That's true.
Men are having a hard time finding that kind of woman. It really is about giving up your right to yourself. You know, we're selfish people.
Yeah.
It's all about me.
And there's
you
no
know?
way for a marriage to really grow and to flourish and to work if both people are constantly fighting for their own selfish ways.
Yes.
It's not possible.
We know that doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Because we've done that before.
That's right, and that's what we
it does
always
not-
argue.
It does not lead in the right direction.
Exactly.
But when we're submitting, when we
Yep.
are loving each other to the fullest and caring about each other,
Yep.
it's always the best time.
Yep,
It's always
I
the
agree.
best time.
I agree. So I believe it's about mutual submission. It's about husband and wife finding ways to give themselves up for each other.
Yeah.
The woman's might be in allowing her husband to lead. The husband's might be in just loving on his wife. It might look a little bit different, but it's the same thing. It's
is.
both of us submitting to each other.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I'm glad I found mine that does that.
Yes, same here. So listen to them. I think
man.
they had a nice word.
I do too.
They did.
I do
They had
too.
a nice
Well, watch
word.
them both. If you only saw Fantasia's thing, I think you should also watch the Instagram thing where the two of them are on
Yeah.
there talking
Yeah.
together. You might love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you do. Anyway,
All right.
see y'all later.
Peace.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell to be notified about our next episode.
See you next time.
Bye.